everybody. Welcome to another exciting opportunity to talk to you about not giving up on yourself and explaining what the mirror moment looks like. Right? For those of you going through divorce, man, that's right. We're here to talk about a subject that's not sexy, but it's important. We're here to talk about a subject that is uncomfortable, but helps us grow. Listen, let me tell you something. I qualified to be here, and you guys will know that, right? So I'm grateful, first of all. Let me thank Comeback King Enterprises for putting this piece together in a bigger extension. This is an extension from the Comeback King series, summit series around going from heartbreak to healing, pathways through and through divorce, pathways to extraordinary love.
Okay, I found this on the web for set a series around going from heartbreak.
And we also have Siri here to join us tonight, right? Say, look, you know it's live now, right? So anyway, welcome to Don't Give Up on Yourself. The Mirror Moment, Divorce Reset. And as I was saying, it's sponsored by Comeback King Enterprises and part of the From Heartbreak to Healing, Pathways to Extraordinary Love Through and After Divorce series, right? Where we come in here, man, and we want to share our mission with you. And that mission is that seeing the comebacks as a lifestyle, right? Now, what do I mean? I mean, listen, our life is about either going through the comebacks of life, finishing up one comeback in life, whether it be in business or health or relationships or something, and starting one. That's the cycle of life, right? So we can either see it as a strengthening lifestyle, right, or one that takes our energy away, one that creates that victim mentality, one that eventually takes the steam out of us. And we're talking about divorce, which is a subject matter that can do that to you. Or we can see it, as I said, one that develops the strength, right? Oh man, are you hearing me? See, the lifestyle is a strength. So it takes you from struggle and setbacks into your strength. So we just think about being in the gym training. If you've done physical training, you know what I mean. If you've done any type of learning, elevating learning, you know what I mean. You had to work at it, right? And the more you worked at it, the more confident you became and the more stronger you became. And all those things become from what we're talking about, seeing it as a lifestyle, taking that stinking thinking into truth, right? That thinking, you know what I'm talking about when you're going through something. Am I good enough? Will anybody ever love me again? Am I lovable when we're going through things like a divorce? And turning that into truths, man, that's not true. You are lovable. Listen, things happen in our lives and we all face different things, man. And divorce is one of those things that can take the steam out of us, right? But that's not who you are, right? Taking that stinking thinking into truths, man. And I like the last piece about what we talk about, stepping into your purpose with courage and clarity. Stepping into your purpose with courage and clarity, man. Particularly after getting, well, I don't know how it is for you. I have some ideas around it, but I'll just share with you why I qualified to be here. When we talk about the divorce, we talk about the pain and the heartbreak and the struggling to find self-love again. Man, I qualify in all of those categories and more, right? And why is this so important for me? Because I saw in my parents what the power of marriage can be, right? And a union. And they were married 45 years before my mom passed. And you know, I would ask my dad when I was kind of growing up and figuring out that I like girls and how, you know, all that stuff. And I would ask myself, well, how can you have just one person? Right? Hey, I was young. And he said to me, he said, man, your mom and I, we wanted to have kids. We wanted to have you guys. We wanted to raise a family. We want to provide for you, right? We want to give you a better life, all that stuff, right? And I'm thinking, I still don't get it, but I got it eventually, right? And they did that, man. And they raised us and they provided everything that we could want and more. And, you know, so that whole thing about connection and expanding your own self as an individual and then making your partner strong, all that. So I believed in it, man. And so when I got married, I thought I would have that same outcome. But, I didn't. And, and we're not here to talk about me, but I just want to let you know and qualify because I thought my marriage would last forever. And I made some choices and blew it up, right? And hurt a lot of people. And most importantly, hurt myself, man. Right? And this was years ago. So I say all that to tell you that I do understand. This is not theory, class book theory, right? This is real life conversations that we're going to have. So, all right, a little bit of background, real quick background. And then, so I'm going to ask you this permission as I share a little bit about me. I want to also ask you a few things that might be a little uncomfortable, may pull on a little emotional string, may make you feel a little challenged. And I want to tell you, if you're feeling that way, then I've done my job because I want you to think about this. I don't want you to be the same person when you leave here as you are sitting down with me right now, right? Because my promise to you that those that qualify, and I'm going to tell you who qualifies in just a minute to be here. And you'll know once that you hear that. You already probably know if you're here. If you're still here and you're listening, you probably qualify, right? And so wherever you might be in this process, I want you to know that the promise is, man, that once I made some decisions in my own situation, and decisions are important, right? We make new decisions, we go different directions, we get different results, right? So we're here to get some different results if that's you. And they can happen in a short period of time, not a long period of time. So if you're struggling with some freedom and some peace of mind and just some emotional calm, and you're looking for something that might be able to help you and help you now, not later, then I want you to hang in here with us, right? Because I'm going to introduce you to something that you may have seen already, and maybe you haven't, but I'm going to tell you something that works. And let me just check a couple things here before we get rolling. And for the sake of time, please, hey, Tiffany, how are you? I will look into the comments. Step into your purpose. Yes, thank you. And all these things that we've been talking about. So thanks for showing up. And so I want to just kind of get to why we're here. So I think I've asked you for permission. The only thing I haven't done, I don't think, is told you who I am, really. Well, my name is Jeff Tyson, and I'm affectionately known as the Comeback King. And I am the founder of Comeback King Enterprises and your host for today. And Comeback King Enterprises, our company, we focus on relationships, community, and health, right? And so 40 plus years in business and relationships, right? We have a lot to offer in different categories. Tonight, we're going to talk about those folks. Well, I'm going to tell you who we're going to talk about, right? So we got that. Let me get moving here. So stay with me. I asked you for permission. So if it stings a little bit, stay with me and let's participate. Let's communicate in this webinar tonight, right? So let's get started. Here we go. All right. Hey. Tiffany, I appreciate you. So let's see what we got here. I've already talked about what it is, right? The series from the comeback, heartbreak to healing, pathways to extraordinary love summits. And now we created the mirror moment. And I want you to think about what that means, right? The mirror moment is something that we don't really take advantage of. We have the access to it every day. That's that moment when you're in the morning, in the evening, or you're doing it through the day and you take a look in the mirror, but you don't really look at it. Who's looking back at you? So I want you to envision as we go through this webinar, seeing yourself in the mirror, seeing how you feel, right? Paying attention to that. The eyes are the windows to the soul, baby. And that spirit that lives inside needs to be free, right? Oh, man, come on. Y'all hearing me on this one? So the mirror moment, 3-step challenge to start your healing journey, right? And y'all already told you who I am and all that. So there's 3 quick steps that we do that. So anyway, let's go. Who's this for now? Finally, right? I'm going to summarize it by saying anyone that's there's 3 phases, I believe in. There's one, you're in the marriage and it's, you want to try and save it. And both of you are trying to save it, or one's trying to save it, and the one that blew it up like I did and expecting the other partner to do the same, but she wasn't able to do that, or it's mutual separation, right? So wherever that might be, but you want it, that first phase is trying to save it. And there's a part of reality that finally sets in, and then you realize that, man, this thing is over, right? And there's a ton of different emotions now, right? The hope is gone. the heaviness that you've been carrying weighs down on you. All that stuff, right? And then it's what next? Right? So hide and hold on to it, realizing let it go, and what's next and not sure what steps to take. And then there's some other things. What is it? Replaying everything you said, going back through your memory, all these things you try to save it with, all the nice things, just stuck in that stinking thinking rat rotation, right? Trying to fix it alone. Man, I remember times when I was just figuring out, plotting on how I could maybe do this, and maybe she would set me if I did this or whatever I could think of, right? In that vicious cycle, man, right? Becoming more invisible every day to myself. We talked about the mirror moment, man. I wasn't looking in the mirror at all, right? Where I would shave, I would always have spaces missing on. Woo, man, I'm laughing now, but this is the reality, right? I mean, I didn't have this. I had to try to keep a clean face. Man, I had patches and stuff, and it was just crazy, right? Swinging between fighting for it and can't do it anymore. And that piece, right? That fighting for and can't do it anymore. What is it that's speaking to you? Are you fighting for, or you're at that point where you can't do it anymore? And here's the hit. For me, anyway, when I say I can't do it anymore, I try again anyway. Right? I just didn't stop. These things just don't stop automatically. It didn't for me. Right? I mean, I fought for it, and then I was, oh man, discouraged, and then go back to my little huddle, and I regroup, and then I come back again. And I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. Losing sleep, focus, all that, right? Almost lost myself. And realizing that it's over, don't know who I am on the other side of this. What's going to happen now? What if? Right? If you're hearing any of this and this speaks to you, oh man, just let me know. Right? Just let me know what we're talking about here. And if you hear the replay, do the same. You'll have a way to connect with me and all that stuff. So I want you to think about it. Remember, I asked you permission. I can tug at you a little bit, right? Oh man, I don't want you to be the same person leaving here as the one that stopped in, the one you hear this replay. I don't want that. Help me out with that, right? Let me keep talking to you. And here's a question I always like to ask the person. When was the last time you told yourself the truth? What do you mean, Jeff? When was the last time that, when people ask me, I know for me, people just stopped asking me because I was always fine. I'm good. I'm always all right. Right. I mean, I didn't understand. I was just like, man, caught up in the grip of denial and hoping things were going to be the way they were. Anyway, so and then this is what I'm really feeling. When I was finally able to do that, which took a while to do, man, there was some freedom in that. But where are you in this question? Right? Are you still good? Are you stuck in the fact that, hey, maybe what you're doing is not healthy for yourself, but you can't see it yet? If you don't want to put it in the comment section, drop it in the DM to me, right? Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Because in order to heal, here's what I used to think. In order to heal, I need to do this. And I don't know if I used heal as much as in order to kind of get over it or get by, I need to do this. And then for you, what is it? Drop it in the chat. If this is you and you're in this and you say, hey, yeah, I mean, what do you need to do in order to heal? Get stronger, right? Work harder, pray harder. I mean, praying is important. I will not say that's not. Pray as much as you can, man. Whoever you pray to, whatever you believe in, don't take this journey by yourself, right? But in order to heal, I need to do. And then what is it that you are saying to yourself? Right? Play more, work harder, stay busy, right? Get back in the gym. Well, I mean, all these things. What are you choosing to do? And remember, this is a two-way street. So if you don't feel comfortable putting it in the comments, then drop me a DM about this and how you feeling, all right? So let's go to the next one. And I say some of that might be true, like praying is definitely true and helpful for you, but some of those other things, I think he would agree, they're probably not going to help you eventually. They may help take care of the outside, but what we're talking about is healing on the internal piece. Most people don't need more willpower. They need a new framework. I didn't, I like to compare myself, give you some snapshots of how I was going through this piece, right? Because it was crazy, man. I mean, I was working hard at trying to save it, man. Because it wasn't one that we had fun. We were connected. We did stuff, man. I mean, you were working in. It was one that a marriage I thought would last forever, man. I was committed till I wasn't. So when it got crazy, I was twisted emotionally, right? And I know I'm not the only one that has experienced that in either phase, trying to hold on to it, realizing you got to let it go, taking it back and forth, or not being sure what the next step is once you make that decision, right? So I had to create a new framework, man, and I get excited about that framework because it was simple to do, and I got quick results on it, right? And I needed that. Right? And so I'm sharing it with you today. And it's kind of like the mirror moment that helps you see the patterns. Write these things down. Pattern, breaking the loop, and rebuilding the comeback. So patterns, breaking the loop, and rebuilding the comeback. Right? And once you start to see that, man, it makes a whole difference. Whole nother game, baby. Because I needed them. My patterns were jacked up. My choices were convoluted. My emotions were just all over the place, man. I needed some calm. I needed a new framework. So I'm going to ask you another question. So this is the part where, people are like, oh, man, Jeff, I can't believe you asked me that, or made me think about it. So if I could help you find peace, right? Remember I told you I gave you a promise at the beginning, man. What if I can help you find peace tomorrow? When you want a simple way to protect it and keep it? If I can give it to you, how do you keep it? And that's a yes or no question. I'm going to read it to you. If I could help you find peace tomorrow, those of you out there that are in between those phases, or you're just ready, you've been through it all now and you just don't know what the next steps are. I mean, but you know you want some peace, right? Or you're getting ready to start, right? I mean, you got to start, the middle, and the end. Where are you in this, right? Would you want to find a way to keep it? I know when I was asked that question, I'm like, heck yeah, man, help me out. That's right, Tiffany. We're talking about self-reflection as the impetus for change. Come on, man. Change identity, change how we see ourselves and how we be ourselves, right? So success won't heal what you refuse to face, man. I love this part. And I know you guys know this, but I'm going to read it and talk about it anyway. Success won't heal what you refuse to face. You can't heal what you don't reveal, man. Right? You got to peel it and heal it, right? In order to heal it. You got to peel it in order to heal it. That's a Jeffism, right? We are built, because we're a man or a woman, right? Both of us are built to lead, man. We're built to protect and guard and provide. Right? I don't, women and men, look, we both have the capabilities of doing that. Yes, traditionally it's been the man that leads, but the world has changed, right? I respect our sisters. Our sisters have power, man. There are some happily married couples, and the wife is making more money than the guy, and whatever that is, but it works. Emotionally whole. Still be emotionally whole. Healing isn't soft, man. It's not a weakness. I used to think, well, fortunately, I had learned about healing as a way of necessary relief and growth. Right, embracing healing as a process, as a serum to the pain, man. Right, it wasn't weakness, it wasn't soft. It meant more strength. Right, healing isn't soft; it's leadership, and that's kind of what we're talking about: leadership for ourselves, right? And your comeback isn't just personal; it explains who your purpose is, right? And I got to tell you, that journey for me in this process, I was like, woo! I had to look at a lot of shadows. I had to look at some things thought I had figured out, but I hadn't. Right? What's the purpose? What is your purpose in this space, man? And I love this part. You can't out-achieve what you won't heal. I've already kind of talked about that. I've already spoke to that, right? I mean, that was probably the biggest aha thing for me, was that. When I realized, hey, Jeff, man, what you're doing is not working. You can't achieve what you won't heal. Out-achieve, rather. right? I mean, I was working harder, man. I was getting in better shape. I was trying to do all the right things, and man, it just took more and more energy, right, away. And I was like, why things aren't changing? They seem to be getting worse, right? Woo. I was holding all that weight inside, man. I was carrying all of that stuff. And, at the same time, it was around the time when the housing crash was. And, I had my business was tied to the housing market. And so, the business that I had built from me and a guy to 40 plus employees and going to 8 figures and all that stuff, man, overnight disappeared on top of all of this stuff. But I was fine. Yeah, man. How you doing, Jeff? I'm good, man. I'm fine. Right? Oh, man. This in our sessions, we really dive deep into some stuff around this stuff, man. And I'll tell you, I wasn't fine. No. Furthest thing away from fine, right? I had the mask. My whole thing was about wearing the mask, man. I put that mask on. It was tight, baby. That mask, right? But it became something that I had to wear all the time. I was afraid to take it off. I didn't know what happened if I took it off. Right? And I like this third point. I think it talks about if you're honest with yourself, I was carrying some things I never really processed. And listen, I had been working on myself before going into the marriage, and I had been working on myself going through the marriage, right? So I was working on some of this stuff, man, but there were some things that I hadn't gotten to yet. You might be carrying that too. What do I mean by that? Some of that old stuff, man, is deep down inside that you promise you would take it to your grave. Right? Them types of things I'm talking about. We all have them. Had them or have them. Either way, you can't heal what you don't reveal. Right? And you can't out-achieve what won't heal. Yeah, I find that to be. All right. So look, listen, my moment, I kind of talked about it already, right? When I was like, oh man, was when I flipped my thinking and built a healing first approach. That was part of it. That's when that letting go piece came, right? When I was finally started to see that, accept the realities as much as she wanted to, and she did, that we couldn't come back together, man. And we hung in there, did different things while we were going through this process. But it just, it wasn't able to come together. It was like, okay, I need to stop. I could feel myself losing myself in that. I'm like, oh, man. And there was no healing, man. There was more grief. It wasn't even grieving. It was just carrying all that weight, right? And the image around that stuff, man. So anyway, no image first. Not an image, not the grind. None of that stuff worked anymore. Simple healing first. I had to learn how to begin to put myself first, right? Awareness of what I was doing, looking at the truth to the best of my ability. My actions resulted in X, right? Awareness. When the inside gets healthy, look, comeback process gets lighter, man. I'm talking about things that you have to work on the inside, right? And some of you may have know people and you have therapy and that's working out for you. And some of you may have tried therapy and it's not working out for you. And I got to tell you, man, sometimes it's what I found and people told me in the past is that the work that we've done in this process helped them get freer quicker, more confident in staying that way and growing beyond that. So there's different ways. And listen, if I'm not here, I don't have a degree in psychiatry or psychology, right? But I have a degree in life's comeback, right? And listen, if you need it, I always make recommendations, right? Because there's a space for what I'm talking about, and there's definitely a need that they can take care of at that level, right? So don't have it twisted. I'm not trying to give you some prescription on your life. Just some things and thoughts to work with, things that I've used and that other people have used too, right? Because when you get healthy on the inside, baby, the game's over. The game begins to change. It's not over. But that old stinking thinking, You're starting to get a little advantage. Comeback process gets even lighter because you start to understand that you are valued. You start to understand that there's another way possible. I didn't say you can agree to it, but possible. The mirror moment is where high-level results become your norm. Right, and I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment. But the high-level results, if you're looking for results, and some of you want results and you want them now, that becomes your normal when you exercise the mirror moment. And this last piece, I think it talks about this is where your comeback becomes real, right? I've watched men and women go through the same things I went through and transform when they stopped hiding, started using the framework, right? Hiding piece was right. I mean, I know you know what hiding is, right? I don't have to tell you what that is. I'm kind of going to tell you how I've been going through it when I was going through it, right? Not facing the real truth, hiding behind what's really hurting you, covering it up with different opportunities, masking all the other things I call. And then so now we have this piece, the mirror moment, right? And it's awareness, right? Look at what you're doing. Listen. This stuff, then, you know, it's up to you, right? It's up to you. But I'm going to tell you something. When you become you face your awareness, and I think Tiffany said something earlier back in there about reflection, right? When you can sit in the results of the reflection and not deny it, not try and hide it, not try and avoid it, man, that you become aware. And we're going to talk about what some other pieces in the breakdown and awareness. You start to release yourself from some of the crazy insanity actions that you were taking, and then you can start to rebuild, right? So ARR, baby. I ain't talking about AARP either. You know what I'm talking about, right? Anyway, so awareness, release, and why am I excited about this? Because in my leadership over the years, I've been in leadership, and once we became aware of things that were wrong, we knew what to fix. Once we became aware of things that were working, we know how to get better. Once we became aware of things that were kind of in the middle, needed some more work, we can address it. Right? Becoming aware. Sometimes we have blind spots that other people can see that we cannot see. Sometimes we are so blocked in emotional pain and misery that we cannot feel. Right? We're numb. Hey, so you guys get the idea, right? So I work with men and women and I've seen what works. Safe spaces, right? Creating that safe space, being aware of what that feels like, right? To have a safe space. Focus on the truth, man. Right? Listen, this is not, you know, I don't sugarcoat things. I don't believe in doing that. I believe in speaking the truth, man, and in a loving and caring way. I believe in hearing the truth from others in a loving and caring way. And here's some framework around how you can protect yourself, right? From the triggers, setting new boundaries, heel to heel. I see you, Tiffany. I love that, man. So let me stay focused here because I had you guys here all night, man. I know you got things to do. So here we go. The mirror moment, man. Here's the framework of it. And man, I'm really excited about this part because it's like facing the mirror, baby. I mean, look, face the mirror. You look in the mirror right now. I mean, pretend like you're looking back at yourself in the computer, if you're hearing this on your phone, whatever it is, but look in the mirror. Name the patterns. We work together to name those patterns. What are you doing? I mean, for me, I was making sure that I did whatever I could to catch her and get on her calendar and all these little things, right? Those were my patterns, man. That was first before I could think of anything else. I was always trying to figure out how to, work my way back in, man. Couldn't let go. And then the triggers behind that, right? Going home alone, eating dinner alone. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to feel that, right? Those were those triggers, man. And then the stories that were built behind that. So what are we talking about? Patterns, triggers, and stories. And number 2 is breaking the loop, right? The loops that I just shared with you, releasing myself from that. Boy, that was not easy, right? What is it? Separate shame from truth. Separating the shame from truth, forgiveness, and grieving, right? I mean, I'm just going to highlight them now. I can't talk about all of them. Hey, what I've learned is looking in the mirror sometimes it's not always easy. However, you have to be honest about what you're looking at and what you're facing. Yes, sir. Spot on. Right? Once we can step into honesty, baby, we can begin to change, man. We can begin to see things differently, right? Let go of the old script. And then the last part, building the comeback, rebuilding it, man. Listen, I I did. And woo. That identity piece is powerful, boy. And installing a new identity, replacing the old identity, you can't do that until you start looking in the mirror and seeing where you are first, right? And taking some real inventory work on that stuff. And we help you through that stuff, right? Boundaries, setting new boundaries. I had to set new boundaries about what I was doing. I had to make sure that I had other things that would replace what I was doing that was leading me back to more pain and misery, right? And then some new practices behind that. So that's 1, 2, 3 pieces. And just to highlight, give you some perspectives on what that looks like right now. So you guys get it, right? So face the mirror, break the loop, build the comeback. Man, and you can do this in any aspect of your life. And so I challenge you to go and remember this. And tomorrow morning, when you get up in the morning, look in the mirror, man. I tell you, I looked in the mirror today and I felt a weird emotion today, right? Because I've been working on some things around this and got some people that, kind of not sure what to do. And so, and I'm like, man, I felt heavy. Right? And I looked some more, man, and it was just like, you'll see. Do it and let me know how. Really do it, right? And then think about what you want to get out of it, right? Oh man. So as we kind of wind this thing up, and I always like to ask at this point, has this been valuable for you? And do you know some folks in there that could use this? And people that are walking around saying they're fine when you know they're not. People are walking around saying I'm okay when you know they're not. People that you care about that are in that state where they're just starting their divorce, right? Or they're trying to save it to realizing they got to let it go, man. And that's a whole lot more drama in that space. And then what to do next, right? So if it has, I always like to ask, type mirror in the chat. If this is hitting home, I'll get that back brick by brick. That's right, brother. Brick by brick. So, we've been here 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes. And normally it's a little longer than that. But, I'm just like coming at you as clean as I can tonight, right? Breaking it down and the mirror moment in that. And yes, ma'am. Thank you, Tiffany. And so, would it be worth the minutes in the breaking down, the mirror moment, to join me for 90 minutes to go through this stuff, right? Because, that's the next step. Yeah, I'm here to offer you a next step on that piece of it, right? And here's the hit, man. Here's where the promise comes in. Because I can't do the work that you're not willing to do. But if you're willing to do the work, man, I will line up with you. We will go back to back through this journey, right? So here, I'm going to introduce you to the mirror moment, a magnificent comeback, right? It's a 90-minute live workshop. And listen, in this case, I'm doing most of the talking, man. And the other stuff, we're going to have the roles reversed, where you can begin to talk about things and really just share in a space where everybody's there to do one thing, and that's to get better, right? To build a community, become part of something, right? So the 90-minute live workshop, where we take those 3 things, awareness and all the way to the rebuild, and break them down for you, man. We can't get everything done in 90 minutes, but we can give you enough things that we can take one piece and put it into play. And then I got a little 24-hour piece that I give you to help guard you some, right? So in the next 24 hours, here's what I used to do. In the next 24 hours, I will not think about calling her. Right? That's a bunch of bull, right? But I wrote it down when I'm thinking about calling her. I had to write that down. The next thing I said, in the next 24 hours, I will not call her, right? And it went from thinking about it to will not call, and to 24 hours, and I didn't do it. And then another 24 hours. See, I had some practice on this 24 hours just for the day stuff. That's a whole nother conversation, right? Woo, man. Anyway, ask me about that privately. I'll tell you all about it. Anyway, thanks, Iris. You know what I'm talking about, Iris. So, man, listen, so we're back here. The mirror moment, step-by-step coaching, right, with prompts. So we give you the tools that we do the exercise together. I believe in immersion, right, putting everything out in front and everybody participating, so we can all gain some things, right? And then you get a 60-day comeback map, what that looks like from day 1 to day 60, and all the little pieces in between that piece of it, right? So then you can take that 60 days and do another 60 days, and then another 60 days, and then what? It's half the year's done, right? And then you hit the reset button again, right? So when we do that over and over again, and we set the identity, man, I love this identity piece. Woo-hoo. Well, when I could really find the freedom, listen, when I could find the freedom in knowing that, man, I can start to forgive myself. I can start to lift my head up and stop carrying the shame and the guilt, right? Because there were things that happened, but I was unfaithful, man. Right? The shame and the guilt was around that, and I tell people that not to you judge me however you want, but listen, I ain't the only one that's done that. And it was hard lifting my head up. It was hard facing the guilt. It was hard facing all the people that lives that impacted the choice I made. It was impacted by the choice I made, man. Come on now. This is the way it is, right? I just tell you how it is with me, man. I told you earlier I qualify for this space, right? So anyway, daily practices, right? So the identity, we set some new boundaries to protect yourself and some daily practices, real simple. And you repeat them and you start to stack them. Day 1 becomes day 7. Day 7 becomes day 14 when you have these new identity. You start to see yourself differently. When I can start to see myself as worthy again, I can start to see myself as not, terrible person to an okay person. I can change that identity, man. And then those practices, like I was talking about at the beginning, right in the gym, man. Oh man. And then the Mirror Moment worksheet, and that worksheet is a cool document. It's a customized worksheet for you and your journey wherever you are in that process, right? From starting to saving to letting go to not sure what the heck to do next, right? And what happens afterwards, right? So that's that worksheet piece of it. So that's a powerful 90-minute workshop, man. That's $1,000 a day, but that investment for that is $47. It's refundable, right? And I tell people, some people like, man, Jeff, I'm ready. I will work with you until you get it, right? I don't know if you heard me. I'm gonna say it one more time. I will work with you until you get it, right? Because I know what it takes, man. Right? So anyway, got that and register. If you're ready to go, DM me with email for registration and your VIP, and we'll send you the link to collect the dough, and we'll get you started. We'll get you on the calendar, right, and all those other things. So make sure you don't miss out on that piece of it and what I just said. If you were listening, for those of you on this piece here tonight, you know anybody or you got something and you're ready to go pull the strings, you DM me and we'll get the payment process and I will work with you until you, right, until you will feel confident that what we're talking about works. And usually I'll tell you that it usually takes about 30, 60, 90 days at the most, but you got to do the work. You can't be half-stepping, right? Don't come at me half-stepping, right? All right, so we already know that. Don't be half-stepping, come to work with me. And that's a promise I'll give to you. Here we also have VIP access. That access is to the Mirror Moment training that we'll do in that 90 minutes. It'll probably be a little more than 90 minutes and all the things. And then you get that lifetime access to that. That's a $500 value and a 60-minute discovery call on top of that, right? We'll do a call before the session. Right, that's you and me, and I'll go over some of the information that you're going to get at the workshop. Right, we'll make sure you have an idea of what the map looks like, an idea of some of the other things that we talked about. Right, so you can kind of envision how it's going to flow. Right, so you'll come in here ready. Plus, 30-day accountability follow-up. I'm gonna check out. I'm gonna. Right, we're gonna work. We'll do the workshop, and then you're gonna have some plans. That 30, 60-day map we was talking about. We're gonna check in on 30 days. Right, me personally, and not my helpers. I'm gonna do this personally with you, right? 30-day accountability follow-up plan, and a bonus VIP access to the summit. So we have a summit planned at the end of. I'll get the date, but it's coming up in March. Oh, this is March. No, what is it? April. Yeah, April. Let me see. But my phone died, so I can't tell you that. But it'll be in April. I'll get you the date. And that's going to be when we have, man, listen to me. When I tell you about this summit, it's going to be like 15 to 18 qualified experts in this space of divorce and recovery and healing. And from chiropractors that can work with the body to help relieve the pain and pressure on the vital organs from the emotional strain and struggles to folks that are dealing with, dietary things, right? I mean, I don't want you, the body is amazing, man, but the more we can heal it, the better off we are with how we eat and how we treat ourselves, right? So we're going, and then the traditional medicine that helps you, right? So listen, that's just it. And then it's going to be 15 additional ways that you can find out how to begin your pathway to healing, right? You get all the recordings, and those speakers give you free gifts. Each one of you getting free gifts in that speaker, so you get access to that. I think that's like, what is it, $1,000 value, $1,900. So the whole piece for VIP access is $49.98, something like that, $49.97, $49.98. And you know, I still have this on here. I've been offering this as Fast Action VIP price. You know, usually that's a $47, pretty much a giveaway. But if you are DMing me, you know, in the next 24 hours, hey, Jeff, it's Friday the 13th. That's your Friday the 13th gift. Woo, man. That's your gift from me to you. Anybody that you know, Friday the 13th, roll it into Saturday. You get the VIP free. And I'm going to give you a 90-day work with me till you get it mixed up. I'm going to stop it at 90, man, because in 30 days, you're going to be like, man, this is amazing, right? You got to do the work. You can't be sloughing. I can't do the work for you. I will not do the work for you. I am not that guy, right? And I'll tell you, I'm that guy that will line up back to back with you, and we will walk through this journey together, right? So you guys see what the VIP access, Mirror Moment training recordings, and all of the recordings, and you can play those over and over and over again. But I'm going to tell you something. This type of healing takes time. You're going to hear things the first time, the same thing you're going to hear again, and it's going to expand. And the third time, you're going to hear something. You're going to hear what you've heard, and then you're going to hear something on top of that. That's what the learning process will do for you. And when you're feeling better, you learn faster. When you have more energy, you learn faster. You'll be more willing. I mean, your body just lines up, man. All that stuff, right? So let me see. What else did I got? I think I covered everything on that piece of it. Let's see. So, yeah, just the last reminder, the Mirror Moment, the Magnificent Comeback is a 90-minute live workshop, right? And those of you that know 90 minutes, man, that's when we cut it off, we can keep moving. I'm not going to leave you hanging, right? I just don't do that. And right now, in this space, I have some extra time where I can really spend with some folks, man, so we can have some good times in this session. And in the Mirror Moment with step-by-step coaching with the prompts, right, about the awareness, about, the resets and all those things that come along with that, those 3 parameters that we talked about, and a 30-day comeback map. What that map looks like, man, that map is a kind of outline of your life. Where you sit right now, what you're going to do to take that little journey through the park, and how you're going to end up, right? If you're wondering what that comeback map looks like, and that's the identity, the boundaries, and the daily practice. What the identity is going to look like after taking different steps, what that boundary is going to do for you when you start to set them and follow them, right? Not just set them out there, but then ignore them. I'm just telling on myself, right? I mean, I'm talking about Jeff, right? You might have some different experience. I'm talking about me, right? Anyway, so what was it? Boundaries, and then the daily practices. And man, my glasses keep sliding my face. Wondering, yeah, man, I just got them reset and they keep sliding off my face. They'll be down on my nose like this in a minute. So anyway, Fast Action gift VIP upgrade, right? And that VIP upgrade, what did I say? That'll include that for $47, you get the Mirror Moment, Magnificent Comeback official workshop, and all the other things that we talked about in VIP. If you got any questions about any of this stuff, DM me and let's have a conversation around it. But I will tell you is, $47 is you get that back if nothing works, right? And for those of you taking action the 13th, Friday the 13th, I'm going to give you something good to happen, right? But you can take that, so DM me so we can get you set up. Do it as a gift for somebody you know that needs it, right? That they can pay you back later, right? But let's take the time now, man. Let's line up together, right? And let's take this journey, man. So you can register. You got DM me with the email for the free IP upgrade. Register today the 13th, and I'm gonna run it through Saturday, probably midnight, maybe even Sunday. But I'll do Sunday. Why not? So this replay might even run again tomorrow. So I think I'll do it till Sunday. So anyway, those of you that know somebody, those of you that are hearing this, those of you that are kind of like 50-50, buy it for a Christmas present for somebody, right? And then if you make the referral, I'll do my best to honor and respect whoever that referral comes from, right? And remember what they get to work with me until they get it, up to 90 days, man. So what does that mean? That's a call at least once a month, hour call, right? And we recap and we go through all the things that I'm giving them in the workshops, and then after that, right? Just me, not my coach, it's just me until they get it. And when you say get it, I mean like they start to feel. They have the boundaries. They start to see themselves differently. They have the boundaries in place, and we've done some practices on some new practices. Right. So anyway, I just want to wrap this whole piece up. Thank everybody for stopping in and hanging out. Tiffany and Isaac, I don't know if you're still there or not, but I really appreciate you and all the guys that support that you're doing. Let's go. That's right. Let's go. Let's recap this thing one more time by saying, what do you get? You get the workshop, and between now and Sunday, all the information VIP. That's the Summit Series recordings. And I need to go back and show them to you. No, I don't think so, because it's a no-brainer. It's the Summit Series, the workshop training, the copies of all of that stuff, the map, right, and a discovery call, and then bonus for working with me, right, for 90 days. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you hanging in here to the end, man. And this is a brother, man, that if you're looking for someone that got some interesting things, Isaac Burden and Tiffany Coleman, you see him in the comments. I would encourage you to reach out to them. Two great leaders in this space, also different things. So thank you guys for stopping in tonight. And as I wrap this up, I want to ask you one question. The promise that I made to you, did you hear it? And what was that promise? I'll remind you, it's if you do some work, right? And 24 hours, right? I'm talking about giving you something in 24 hours that you can do. I can't make you do it, and I can't, judge you if you don't. I won't judge you if you don't. But what happens if you do that for one day and you gain a little bit of relief, man, right? And then you do it another day. What am I talking about? I gave you an example. If it's him or her you've been calling, and every time you do, they just hang up on you, you don't want to talk, don't do it, right? Whatever those triggers are, start to identify them, start to take some notes on them. Man, I'm talking about right now, making the change right now, not 90 days from now, right now, right? Come on, man. I needed something. I'll tell you as I wrap this up, I needed something. I needed it right then, because I was like beating myself up, man. I was doing things that caused me nothing but grief and pain. And it wasn't her fault, it was mine. So, as we always say, you're looking for a safe community. I believe the access to From Heartbreak to Healing is available for that. And I also believe my calendar link is in there. If you really like, Jeff, man, listen, I need more than what you got here for $47. If that's you and you really want to have a conversation, which I suggest we had, then please hit me up on the calendar link and let's have that conversation. And understand that, listen, the lifestyle of the comeback is a gift. The lifestyle of the comeback is going from struggling to strength, man. The lifestyle of the comeback will take you from stinking thinking to truth, man, and then being part of a community. So, as I wrap this up for real tonight, I want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you, Isaac, and for stopping in, and Tiffany for doing that, and some of the other folks I can't really see. But I appreciate you all. And know this. You no longer have to live in isolation, suffering in silence, man. We go from isolation to community. And listen, yes, I'm not for everybody, but what I can guarantee you is this. If we lock up and line up, I'm going to give you what I got. Like a lady told me earlier, she said, Jeff, I had a conversation with her, and she said some things, and it was like, I don't know how you, without me telling you, this is her saying to me, without me telling you what was going on in my mind, you were able to connect with what was really happening, because she believes that I care, and that's part of what the Comeback King is all about. It's about you and not me. So let's take this journey together. Get the $47, DM me, call your friend, whoever it is, invest in someone that you care about, and put me to the task. All right? Listen, I appreciate everybody. Have a fantastic day. If you're looking for the community, make sure you get the link. If you need the calendar, do that. DM me and let's make some stuff happen. Right? Use the gift of Friday the 13th to be the gift that changes your life. All right, come back, hang out. Talk to you again later. If this gets the recording, this offer is good through the 15th, 14th, yeah, midnight. All right, we'll see you guys later. Don't waste your time, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Isaac and Tiffany, I appreciate y'all. Love and respect.